Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. And today, I'm going to talk about a very interesting phase of the awakening, and that is what I have come to call the quickening phase. I'm going to break down this quickening, accelerated phase of awakening and share 7 signs that you are going through it right now, which it is my intention and hope that it will bring you clarity, peace, and excitement, because it's an exhilarating ride you're on. And I know right now we're in June of 2018, and many people are going through this quickening, which is what inspired this video. Okay, so I'll get into that now, but before I do, I just want to welcome you if you're new to my channel. It's good to have you here. I'm always helping people with their awakening process, and if you stay until the end of the video, I have a special announcement as well. But right now, I will go ahead and get into the video with those 7 signs. Sign number 1 being this: your life is speeding up, not letting up, and only seeming to get faster. Now, what I don't mean, I want to clarify, I don't mean that you're more busy than normal, which you probably are. A lot of people are busy. When I mean your life is speeding up, I'm talking about the progression and evolution of you. The speed at which you are coming into new knowledge about who you are, personal development, literal speed at which you are changing and transforming your life, your career, your relationships, your place of residence. All of these maybe once stable structures are changing quickly, and only seeming to get faster. The amount of new experiences, new frames of human experience, they're coming at you faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So there's certainly a very strong element of speed, hence the name, the quickening. Number 2 can be a combination of things. You might be feeling worn out physically, where your body, your mind, your nervous system is processing a lot of new data at a rate it's not used to. Again, going back to what I said, the personal insights, the inner growth, the outer transformation, the changes, the life changes. You're just like on these rocky waters in this little boat, and there's just a lot of input to process with your physical vessel, and it can leave you feeling worn out and also sped up, wound up, hard to settle down. So even though you might be worn out, maybe you're not sleeping very well. I know I'm going through this right now myself, and I have been waking up, not so much these past few days, but for about 2 weeks there, I would wake up at like 3 in the morning. I'd go to bed kind of early, maybe 10, but I'd wake up at between 3 and 4 a.m. and I would just wake up, because I'd wake up naturally. I could sense my body probably would have preferred a bit more rest, but you could just tell sometimes when your mind is like, yep, I'm ready for the day. So I just get up. But anyway, your sleep habits, your energy might be a bit affected by this quickening. Number 3 is there might be a spike or an increase in what I would say, for lack of a better term, is non-physical support. We don't really come in here to this earth plane alone, even though it can seem as if we are sort of only going by what's right in front of our face. As you start to awaken, you become more sensitive and perceptive and aware to the unseen, or now perhaps a little bit seen, support system you have. And it's different for everybody. I can sense the presence of other beings. I suspect they're my spirit guides, and they always make themselves known to me more frequently when I'm going through an acceleration like the quickening. The way it plays out for me is I see little orbs and flashes of light and feel little tingles, and I have a sense of knowingness and a sense of, I can sense the presence. Just as if you were alone in your house and someone walked right up behind you, almost to the point where you could feel them breathing on your neck, but you can't. They're there, but you can't see them or hear them or feel them, but you can sense them. You can sense a presence. It's like that, but it's in a positive way. It's not scary like some freaks in your house. It's like there's a lightness and a benevolent quality to that. And that's just my way. That's not like, if that's not happening to you, it doesn't mean you're not being supported or made aware of the presences and help and support you have in your life. This could play out in many, many, many different ways. It could come in dreams. It could come in just the way your thoughts are. Your thinking process might take on a different quality, almost as if like something's influencing your thoughts and you're getting these ideas out of nowhere. There's just an increase in support at times when you truly need it, which are during the acceleration time. It's important that you do stay focused and you do keep your head above water so that you can take advantage of the massive opportunities that are now at hand and in your lap. Number 4 is that you might have a difficult time staying focused, because there's so many things going on in your life with seeming an equal amount of importance. It's like, where do I begin when I'm suddenly coming into the awareness of all of these relevant things I long to change and modify or pursue or read about or entertain or contemplate? And it can just be like your plate is just, it's been piling up. But now it's like the table at which your plate sits is piling up and there's crumbs on the floor and you're just like, oh my goodness. You know it's important to start making rapid progress in all of these things, but because there's so many of them, it could just feel, you can just feel unfocused and overwhelmed. So what I do when this happens to me is I just try to like step back often and take more time of doing nothing. Ironically, can actually help productivity, because then I can focus myself, but I become aware of the fact that I'm not focused, and then I take measures to center myself. And then what I've found is these phases, the quickening, all these different things, they come in cycles. It's not just one thing you go through one time. It's just a period of rapid transformation and acceleration. And I've learned that even though it can seem unbalanced and overwhelming and like there is too much to realistically do, it's fine, because you will find that it'll always just work out for you. But it can work out with a lot less overwhelm if you can take time to center yourself and take a breath and get back into your sense of trust and knowing, and just sort of knowing that what really needs to be dealt with will rise up to your attention, and you can trust the way things unfold. And they can, even though you might feel overwhelmed, they can unfold smoothly if you stay in your flow. Number 5 is there will be a rapid transcendence of deep, long-held, highly impacting core issues. You might have had patterns playing out in your life for as long as you can recall that have gained such a gross amount of momentum that maybe you questioned if you ever had the power to overcome it, or if the groove was just too deep and thick and you were just too locked into this thing. You'll find those types of issues are just suddenly gone. And this can resolve in many ways. Sometimes you might just wake up and feel inspired to go to some type of session, some kind of healing modality. Like myself, I recently went to a theta healing session just yesterday, and there was like 3 or 4 major blocks that have literally been running rampant in my life for, again, as long as I can recall. And in that one session, they're just gone, just like that. It's not that I'm saying all of you should rush to theta healing. It's that I was naturally attracted to the modality that was appropriate for me in that particular time. So you might have that sort of inclination to research something of that nature, or you might not even need that. Sometimes that's just like the finishing touches. Like you've already done the work, and then you're just having someone sort of like confirm it for you. A practitioner is that little boost you need. Sometimes it resolves naturally. It just goes away. Sometimes it will intensify, and then you feel like you are totally screwed, and then you just wake up and it's gone. Maybe it's an idea you had or a conversation you had where you just felt like it all just released at once. And maybe there's not even some epic breakthrough, some feeling of some kind of big process concluding. You just find yourself not doing that. You just find yourself no longer exhibiting those past behaviors, succumbing to those same temptations, and you are just like, I'm free, and it feels normal and natural and good. That is a big blessing of the quickening, because even though it's kind of an intense time, the implications of you going forth from this point forward, absent of those long-held self-sabotaging patterns, is mind-blowingly profound. Just imagine what you are going to be capable of when you're not holding yourself back so much. Number 6, this is nice and very much welcomed by pretty much everybody I've ever talked to that relates with the awakening, is that as you start going through this quickening, sometimes, oftentimes, you'll find yourself running into more and more and more people that you vibe with, more higher conscious individuals you will start running into. And they don't have to be at a yoga retreat or a meditation session. It could be in your everyday life at the grocery store. I was just told about this higher conscious realtor I'm going to be using very soon. I went to this theta practitioner. This one was very high conscious. People I run into at the gym, friends, people calling me. It's all over the place. And now you don't have to wait a long time. It comes in waves. I noticed this back in 2011. In fact, I remember how hyped up the date of 11/11/11 was. I had all this expectation. I thought I was gonna like vanish into thin air and pop into a new dimension. And I was like, I went to the beach, and I remember like I was gonna meditate during that time, and like nothing happened. I was like, it's 11:15. I feel no different, and I was kind of like feeling sullen. But it was also a time of the quickening. That's why there was probably all that hype on that time, the dates, etc. And I remember we were driving away from this beach where we were staying, and I just, out my window, or maybe my rear view mirror, I saw this sign that just said psychic. And I just had like all my cues, my signs to just go back, go into that place. I knew it. In fact, I told my wife, hey babe, turn around. We got to go back and see what that place is all about. And then I finally walked into this store, and the woman who kind of was coming down the hall to greet me, I saw the look in her eyes. It was the first time, besides my wife, that I saw anybody who I knew was like a light worker, like a real person who, like, our wavelengths met up, and I could see it in the look and glow and twinkle in her eyes. And it was like, it was amazing just seeing even one person in your life, maybe your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, they don't vibe with you, and it can make you really doubt yourself and question who you are and question this process you're going through, even though you intuitively know it's real and profound. But when you see even one person, one other higher conscious individual that you can see instantly carries the same path you're on, it was profound. And those types of experiences have happened to me many times during these quickening phases. So be on the lookout. Be open to that being a possibility, and you'll be surprised at who crosses your path. And lastly, number 7, new projects, new opportunities, new endeavors are probably filling your horizon right now. And there might be a strong desire to get at them and do them. But there also is probably simultaneously a need to clean up your existing life. And it can just be, it's a lot. It's a quickening. Everything's happening at once. You're healing. You're coming into new, cool people coming into your life. You're seeing all these new things that are opening up for you. You're becoming more aware of all the stuff you've yet to do. And it's just, you're not sleeping. You're tired. But it's the quickening. What's happening literally is a whole new life is opening up for you. You are blossoming, flowering right now. If you ever see, I can't think of the exact flower, maybe it's a rose, but it can be sort of dormant for a while. And you just see the bud but it can be maybe like weeks or months of that. And then but when it flowers, it's like a couple of days, and you watch this thing just suddenly out of its cocoon, it just explode into the grace and beauty and vibrance that has always been contained in that bud, and now it's happening, and it's happening fast. Who knows? Maybe that's stressful to the little flower. It's a lot going on at once, a lot of new light coming in, a whole new version of itself is emerged. And that's what's happening to you literally. But the experience as a human being going through an awakening, it can be a little bit intense. But I want to highlight this last point to remind you that you are flowering, and even though you might feel overwhelmed, amazing things are happening if you relate with this video and this quickening, which pretty much everyone on my YouTube channel right now is going to experience this at some point here in June. Okay, my friends, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me real quick tell you about that big announcement I was talking about. I just want to let you know that I have a new program coming out. I call it the Awakened Life Academy. It's a way to work with me beyond the scope of these YouTube videos. Many of you don't even know I do this. I actually work with people and try to help coach them to go through the cycles of awakening that I've gone through a lot faster, by having some guidance, some foresight, and more importantly, just the reinforcement and support to help people embrace their intuition. Their intuition's always guiding them. You all have the answers, but many times it goes questioned unnecessarily because we don't live in an environment with people and so forth that are conducive to our spiritual evolution. So I try to create an experience where you have a weekly dose of that encouragement and support, and again, practical, usable guidance that you can slowly, week to week, integrate into your life at a reasonable pace. The way I do this is every single week I get onto a live call with all of the members. For about 30 minutes or so, I provide a teaching. I give you some information that you can, again, it's like usable action step oriented information that'll produce an actual tangible positive result in your life at a pace that's reasonable. And then I open it up for questions. Many people who are going quickly now through their awakening, they have questions, they run into blocks, and it's a way that you can ask me questions every single week in real time in a live format. Now, I used to do this with people one-on-one, and I've done it for years, but as you see, my subscriber base is just continuing to climb at a rate that is new to me, and there's so many people who want to work with me that just can't. So this is a way that if you want me in your life kind of coaching you through some of these cycles, now the opportunity is available. Well, almost. I'm going to open it up for enrollment on this June 6th, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. There's a link down below. If you click it, it'll take you to, it's like a coming soon page. But if you go to that exact same link on that date, again, June 6th, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, then it'll be open for enrollment and the page will change, and there'll be a video of me explaining more of the details. So again, I know a lot of you don't even realize I work with people beyond the scope of these videos, the YouTube videos, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention in case that's of interest to you. I hope you're all doing fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a great summer. I will be in touch one way or another. Have an amazing day. Peace.